Quiet on the set.
Camera speed.
Sound production, take one.
Action!
Better Than Wicked. I forget. Is that the name of this new Wicked movie? It came out this past weekend. There's still more Oz I want to bring you guys. And today, 1985, Return to Oz. We have what might be the most significant of all the Wizard of Oz adaptations, interpretations. Now, I'm on record. Previously, we talked about Tin Man, Sci-Fi Channel, roughly 3 hours, big miniseries for the day. I said that was the best adaptation, the things that they did with the Oz mythology and the world, and just even the villain. It's high end. At one time, we only had Return to Oz. We have Emerald City. We now have Wicked. There's a lot of really good live action Oz out there. Some of it's connected, some of it's not. This movie is designed to be a direct sequel to the original. Disney, at the time, worked with MGM to get the rights of the original movie, to work with the Frank Baum estate to get the rights of all these books. And Disney had planned this massive onslaught, TV series, sequel to the movie. And what we got, well, we got a movie that came and went, but resonated on VHS, resonated on DVD. Return to Oz hit the same mark that people found with Labyrinth and Dark Crystal. You can line up these three movies, sit down, and have yourself one amazing trilogy. But let's go over two of the facts that no one can tell you about Return to Oz. And they're very simple ones. One of them is a broader creator/Disney observation. So let's go. And excuse me, AKAPAD. So I had to pause real quick. See, just so you know, I live with a cat. His name is Dallas. What Dallas does, he will be one sofa away from me. He'll be a full sofa's length away from me. He'll be smashed into a blanket, curled up, relatively looks flat. His fur is so fluffy and loose that the blanket that he favors, he blends almost right into it. If I get up and do something, if I get up and go to the master bedroom to change, if I go to the bathroom, if I hit the kitchen to re-pour my coffee, he'll follow me. He'll go from a absolute dead sleep, and he'll follow me. So that's what he just did. And sometimes I have to see what he's up to, because he can get himself into trouble. Walter Murch. This is our writer-director. Screenplay also by Gil Dennis. Why is this significant? Well, no one talks about Walter when they well adapted Return to Oz is, how much of a visionary work, how much it does introduce a new cast of characters, how much it builds the Scarecrow into the new King of Oz, or the new Wizard of Oz. You know, whatever. Wizard of Oz should almost be a title to who rules Oz. But this is our visionary. This is the only film that Walter directed. if you want to know the other film that Walter was involved with before Wizard of Oz 6 years prior, it was Apocalypse Now. What are you doing, buddy? You okay? I know you guys hear him. You're making trouble. Can you run off and do something? Come on. Walter made one movie, and he made a highly impactful movie. The other observation is that Walter is a special effects guy. Very similarly, Steven Lisberger. We talk about even this year we talked about his film a lot. Steven Lisberger, also an animation special effects guy. Well, he made a movie called Tron, and we have two movies here that you can take the position that Disney leaned into the big idea and the visuals, and I think a method that the rest of Hollywood adopted. Disney was a little bit ahead of its time in selecting ideas for pictures, letting those ideas become the ad campaign, developing incredible logos. I mean, there was a run of Disney films by Columbia. The list goes on, because Disney held at one time a few film studios underneath their belt before there was more massive consolidation. Disney packaged everything in such a way the rest of Hollywood would later catch up to this, letting some of the special effects guys have their day, like we did in Tron, like we did in Return to Oz. Both historic failures. I think that's a big thing, because what you'll hear repeated was Return to Oz was directed by a special effects guy, and that's it. And there's no further analysis. There's no further dots to connect. The visual for Return to Oz, the way that some of these creatures look, especially Jack Pumpkinhead, that I will put myself on record again, was the inspiration for Jack Skellington from Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. A lot of the visual, as we see with Dark Crystal, as we see with Labyrinth, even though Labyrinth we have David Bowie, the Goblin King, there's a creepy aspect upon the premise, upon the poster. We see the original posters for Dark Crystal. It looks eerie, it looks creepy. If we see the original poster for Labyrinth, the same. Return to Oz doesn't know quite where to go. To lean into the creepy, which maybe of the day might have done a little bit better. And these are very interesting positions to take when we talk about Return to Oz. Did the promotion, did they lean into the wrong aspect of the movie when they were making it? Did the filmmakers, did the whole production lose control? But what we have, I love the beginning of Return to Oz. I love the first 30 minutes where we set up that Dorothy potentially is crazy. I don't know why, AKAPADers. I think that's the absolutely best starting point, where everything that happened to her with the MGM movie, we flip it on its head. We take it from the audience standpoint. The things that she would have said when she came back, and the way that the world would have reacted around her. And we have this trope where the characters in the real world echo into the world of Oz. And the Return to Oz is the end of what we can call the Oz theory, which is Wizard of Oz is a dream sequence. And if you watch the original, it's clear it's a dream. I don't think there's any dispute. The fantasy side of Oz is so tempting. It's so grand, colorful, deadly, and beautiful. Any creative person, any filmmaker, even executive, you want more of this, because the land of Oz is all of your merchandise. What hasn't resonated with Return to Oz, AKAPADers, is another significant point to make when we discuss Return to Oz. No action figures, no merchandise, nothing in this postmodern world. We have collections of Ghostbuster figures coming out once or twice a year. Masters of the Universe is still going. Endless Gremlin stuff. And you might say to yourself, well, Pete, that stuff's marketable. That stuff's... there's so much of the 80s obscure movies and franchises, which are some of them are franchises by this point, that have gotten revivals, not as good, not as well designed, not as grand as Return to Oz. It is a weird thing that Return to Oz has not been merchandised even to this day. And then just recently, just so you guys know, we could have brought this up with the Green Mile. The Green Mile, the movie poster was illustrated by a guy named Drew Struzan. If you spent any time looking at movies, even scrolling through infinite thumbnails, you've seen his movie posters, you've seen his work. He passed away I believe it was this calendar year. He is also the illustrator for the Return to Oz movie poster. The way how he touches a movie, a story, the actors, enhances the film going experience. He's maybe the last of these movie poster illustrators that had this effect. He turned into legendary status when people realized that, he was a part of a couple Star Wars posters for the special edition, and from a special edition, I believe they put him on the prequel trilogy. So it was episodes 1, 2, and 3, special edition. And then people reverse engineered and they went through like every single movie. They found out that he did Goonies and Indiana Jones. And that's kind of where like the legend of Drew Struzan came from. But he's no longer with us. But he's also a part of this Return to Oz equation. And when you look at what he chose to illustrate, and I'm sure there was some direction, some art direction that he was involved with. It's a challenging image. It really is. When people think of Wizard of Oz, they really want Dorothy, ruby slippers, they want a green horizon, and they want a yellow brick road. Ever since I was a kid, I was obsessed with when Dorothy first goes to Oz in this, when she first re-enters Oz or reappears in Oz. Because the yellow brick road is destroyed. And I love that. I love that the gap between the MGM and this. Almost a real-time gap too, by the way, guys. Somewhat of a real-time sequel. And Oz has been decimated. It's been conquered. The yellow brick road does not exist anymore. And then at that point, she runs into these, they're not monkey creatures, but they're wheel creatures. Just like creepy circus-driven stuff. This is a great movie. I know there's a lot of people out there that still watch this movie, that still like it, that still support it. I don't think it's enough, though. That's the thing. As much as I love this movie, I don't think it's paid attention to enough. The wild thing is, I thought I had already discussed it on this podcast. I had to go through my library because we're 1,000+ episodes deep, my AKAPADers. But rock and roll. It's Monday. Maybe we're not quite done with Wizard of Oz, but we got a lot coming. Look out tonight, 8 a.m., 8 p.m. We'll have another drop for you guys.
Roll sound.
Rolling.
Sound production, take 2.
Let's take this time real quick, AKAPADers, my fellow film buffers, and let's just go over the schedule. This is years in the making. This type of rollout I've been planning for years, but we're finally here. So here we go. Early in the morning, that's the new stuff. 8 a.m. Now, 8 p.m., Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, these are movies maybe of something coming out. Like if there's a Marvel movie coming out and we want to do a retrospective on that particular franchise, or, if Sylvester Stallone comes back and gives us Rocky Part 18, we might want to use the later time slots for a week or two to go over all of the Rocky movies. Now, we have a lot of different threads on this podcast. That's explored 8 p.m. So 8 a.m., 8 p.m. Wednesdays, at 8 p.m. This is our creator spotlight. We could do an episode on Martin Scorsese, Steven Spielberg, some of the new guys, Spike Lee, even composers, guys like John Williams. This brings us into the weekend. Saturday, Sunday morning. Again, we're back at that 8 a.m. drop. We do cartoons because I want to emulate the times where you would wake up with a bowl of cereal and watch cartoons all day Saturday and all day Sunday, and then eventually you would get to touch grass because you would have one of your friends knocking on your door to play in a touch football game or even some baseball, basketball. The weekend nights, let's get into education. 8 p.m. Again, all of our drops are either 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. But the weekend nights, documentaries, and I focus on creative documentaries because I feel like a part of this film buff movement that we're all bathing in, that I'm super grateful for, is education. And some of where we're finding our facts, some of the, general enjoyment, because I love documentaries. All of this is explored at 8 o'clock p.m. And trust me, there's a lot there. There's a lot out there that I didn't even know existed. And we're going to go beyond that too. We're going to get into some of the graphic art, some of the special effects, some of the makeup documentaries. There's a lot to learn, and I'm so happy to bring you the 9 p.m. because, guys, you guys know I'm an autodidact. I am self-educated. Sure, I have some certifications. Sure, I spent time at the Art Institute of Philadelphia for animation. But in large, I'm a self-educated, self-made person. That's connected to the weekend 8 p.m. drops. My AKAPADers, my film buffers, I hope to see you there for all of it. I love you guys, and rock and roll.
Okay, that's a wrap. Okay, that's a wrap.